For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is LaQuettta Anderson. I am a CME for life. I'm a member of Say Duty, where the Reverend Michelle Browder is pastor. I am a biology instructor here at Grambling State University. So I have been asked from my President Warwick. They are recruiting today, and usually I'm there to help recruit for Grambling State University. But because Elder Griffin had asked me to be here this morning, can't be in two places at one time. So I chose to come and serve God this way because we are always serving God. We are always, when it comes to Grambling State University, we are always recruiting, and we are always trying to bring students to Grambling so that they can get the best form of an education. Today, and I'm truly blessed and thankful to be here, because usually I don't get a chance to talk to when we are doing a health forum. Sister Annie has them in a women's missionary institute. And I don't get a chance to talk to them, but I'm truly honored and blessed today to be able to talk to you. I have 30 minutes, and usually within 30 minutes I never get everything accomplished. So today what we are going to do, I'm going to look at 5 top health issues for women and for men. It is, Ms. Copeland said that we are the leaders. A lot of times we have to get on the men about going to the doctor because they think that they are invincible. They don't want to say that something is wrong or anything like that. But this time of year is the time of year that you need to be trying to go to the doctor. This is the beginning of the year. Most African Americans don't go to physicians like they need to. And if you go to a physician, you in and out in less than 15 minutes. 9 times out of 10, you don't ask them any questions. They don't ask you if you have any questions. If you have a physician like that, you need to find another one. You need to find another one. If you don't have somebody that you can talk to and say, hey, look, this is what I got going on. Do you have time to answer this question or that question? If they don't have time for you, find you another physician. And I'm not saying that to be harsh or to be mean or anything else. You only have one you.
That's right.
When something happens to that you, nobody's going to give you a new you.
That's right.
You know, it's hard enough now to find organs for persons who need transplants. And we're usually on the bottom of the list. We have to take care of us. We have to take care of ourselves because nobody else is going to take care of you for you. So the first issue that I want to look at is your heart. People think that our hearts are going to tick forever. Our hearts are not going to tick forever. It will be nice if they did. The other misconception is the size of your heart. If you take your hand, put your thumb inside, close your fingers over your thumb, that's the size of your heart. Your heart is not some humongous organ that's sitting in the middle of your chest and that's pumping the blood for you. The more weight we have, the more fat that's around our heart. The more fat that's around our heart, the less our heart is going to make sure that that blood gets to our organs. The less the blood gets to our organs, the less oxygen we have. That's the reason a lot of times we are short of breath, because we don't have enough oxygen. African American women are more likely to die of a heart attack than non-African American women. It affects you as you grow older. It affects us as we eat. say something about fried fish. We all love fried fish. Fried catfish on a Friday evening, best thing in the world. I know, guilty. But try to broil your catfish. Or better yet, eat some salmon. Salmon has omega-3s. Omega-3s are oils that are good for your heart. So if they're good for my heart, they gotta be good for the rest of me too. So try some omega-3s. The other thing too is when you are, any foods that you eat more fruits and vegetables. Eat more nuts. All of these things are heart healthy, which means that it's going to help my heart. So that means I'm going to stay here a little longer. But also, go to the doctor. Heart attacks in men and heart attacks in women present themselves very differently. Men get a clenching feeling, a tight feeling in their chest, whereas women, we get pains between our shoulder blades. We will chalk it up to gas. Oh, I got gas. I've eaten something that I shouldn't have eaten. I got some indigestion. I'm going to take a little Pepto-Bismol or magnesia, and it'll go away. Yeah, it will go away. But it's going to come back. When you get a pain in your jaw, ladies, that could be a sign of a heart attack or a heart problem. Pains in your arms, especially your left arm, can be a sign that something is going on. Go to the dentist. That dentist can just about tell you what's going on. If he or she does an x-ray and they see nothing that could be causing that pain, find your cardiologist. Go to that cardiologist. Find out what's going on. Insurance companies would rather pay for preventative health care than to pay for you to stay in a hospital and get a large bill. Preventative care is all we're asking you to do. Other thing is supplements for your heart. Supplements can include anything from, I know you've heard of CoQ10, which is a vitamin that your body naturally makes a small amount, but depending upon your health history, you may need some more CoQ10. You always need some fish oil. Fish oil is natural. It helps your body. Green tea. We like to drink a lot of soda. We don't drink enough tea. I saw a young lady in here today that's constantly drinking some water. We don't like to drink water. We said water doesn't have a taste. If it doesn't have a taste, get some Crystal Light or some pure limeade or something to go in there to give it some taste, if that's what you're looking for. We are going to have to be more proactive and making sure that we stay here a lot longer. African American women usually die at the age of 60 or younger due to heart problems. And that's not good. Because we need our mothers and our grandmothers. We need the wisdom here so that it can help us in the long run. Physical fitness and physical activity is something that we don't want to do. It's cold outside. Yes, it is cold outside. But just go outside and walk around your house. Get your heart rate up. Sweep the floor. Get your heart rate up. Leave the vacuum cleaner alone. And sweep. Because sweeping is going to give your heart more activity. than pushing that vacuum. It's just little simple things that we need to do to change to make us more healthy. Another health issue for African Americans is breast cancer. We used to not hear of a lot of African Americans suffering from breast cancer. Now, we hear of not only African Americans suffering from breast cancer, but all races suffering from breast cancer. And it's simply in the foods that we eat. If you've noticed, if you've ever heard of hormones and antibiotics going into certain foods that we eat, especially in milk, simply they want to grow the cows fast. They want the cows to produce more milk in a shorter amount of time. That's not good. All dairies don't do that. So you have to be very selective in the foods and the milks that you choose to drink and give for your family. I don't drink milk. I drink almond milk. Almond milk actually tastes better than milk. It has fewer calories, and it's better for you. We, on the other hand, we're going to go and buy a gallon. We're going to go buy it cheap if you go to Walmart. And I know, I understand when it comes to, foods. I know it's expensive. But are you going to put a price on your life? We shouldn't put a price on our lives. We should do all we can do to stay here and live 6, 7, 8, 900 years, just like Moses and Abraham and Eve and Noah. And, we need to stay here. We need to stay here. We need to be able to impart information and wisdom on the generations that are coming under us. And we can't do that if we're not here. The other thing when it comes to breast cancer, we need to start finding out our own family health history. We need to find that out. I tell my students all the time, we are a combination of generations. We are just not our mothers and fathers' children. We need to find out what grandmama had, what great-grandmama had, great-grandfather, great-great, on down through the generations. Because as we reproduce children, our genes are passed on from one generation to the next. And it does not mean that everybody that you have sons and daughters, those sons and daughters are going to have the exact same genetic traits as you. You need to learn more about human genetic disorders, because those human genetic disorders are showing up every day in children. We talk about children having ADHD and all these other wonderful problems. If you find out what somebody had in your family, you'll be able to handle it. One thing that we don't want to talk about as African Americans is mental health. We run from that. You better start talking about it. Because a lot of our children, because of the foods that we eat, have hormones in them that their bodies cannot actually take right now. Those hormones are not good. You have young girls at the age of 8 years old who start their menstrual cycle at 8. At 8 years old, they don't know what they're doing. They have no comprehension about what is actually happening to them. By the time they're 9, they have breasts. By the time they are 10, 11, they have hips. By the time they're 12 years old, some of them may be pregnant. And it's simply because of the foods that we eat. The cheaper the food, the more likely it's going to have more hormones and more antibiotics in it than those that are a little bit more expensive. Now, when we talk about meats are great. Buy more fruits and vegetables. Buy more nuts. Not only will the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts be beneficial to your heart, your digestive tract, it will help you get a lot more waste and clean your colon a lot better. We don't clean our colon because we want to eat beef, pork.
Yeah.
This is what we want to eat. And then we want to go to sleep on it. We want to eat it, we want to go to sleep on it. That's not good. I tell my students all the time, what you're doing to your body now is going to follow you for the rest of your life. The habits that we have had then are going to follow us for the rest of our lives. So we say now, and our children say, I don't want to drink any water. A glass of water is not going to kill you. We also, when we talk about water, you need to drink a glass of water in the morning, a glass of water at night before you go to sleep. Because it keeps your organs functioning for those 8 hours. And in the morning, it helps to wake those organs up so they can start functioning a little better. It's just little simple things that we can do to help ourselves that we don't want to do, that we don't think about doing. Just little bitty things. Just little bitty things. Talking to your doctors. Little bitty things that we need to do. There are women that do not, when we talk about breast cancer, there are women that have never had a mammogram. By the time they go and get a mammogram, they may have stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Women who had breast cancer years and years ago, they were 60, 70, 80 years old. I had a classmate that died at 27 from breast cancer. You no longer have to be seasoned or mature to have breast cancer. I have a student now that is going through treatment. She is 19 for cervical cancer. We have to be proactive with our own health. Men, you have to be proactive with your own health. We need you. I understand and I know that most men hate with a passion to have a prostate exam. Y'all hate that. And if my mother was not here, I would do you like I do my students. And I compare a prostate exam to a pap smear. But because my mother is here, she will probably just pass out if I did. Because my mother knows, and Miss Hamlin knows that I can be very graphic at times.
Same as Jesus.
I can be very graphic at times. But and the reason I do it is simply because I need y'all, you need to think. That's all I just want you to think about what it is. I'm looking at the audience and I see so much wisdom out there. We don't want this wisdom to go away. God has you here for a reason. We don't want it to go away. But if we don't start taking better care of ourselves, it is going to go away. Genes, when we talk about breast cancer, genes, nearly 5 to 10% of breast cancer is triple negative. That means that it's associated with estrogen and progesterone. The reason I'm mentioning estrogen and progesterone is because a lot of mothers will put their children on birth control pills. Birth control pills contain estrogen and progesterone. The higher your estrogen and progesterone levels, the more likely it is for you to develop breast cancer. All of that needs to be taken into consideration. My mother, when I was growing up, she never had to worry about me getting pregnant before I got married. Mother told me, I will walk the Grammy and I will kill you.
That's good.
Yeah, that was perfect birth control. It was so bad, she had put the fear of God in me. I was 3 months pregnant with my son and married before I told her. And she will tell you, I was scared. When my mama told me that, we don't play with my mama. No. There's some things when I was growing up, you didn't do. You didn't play with mama. My mother meant what she said. But the problem, the kicker is when I had Justin, Justin was our only grandchild for 19 years before my brother had his son. And I would tell Justin the same type of things that she told me. She would call me, don't you tell that boy that. You wrong for that, don't you tell him that. But you told me. And it did kill me. But that was her only grandchild at the time, so I couldn't. I told him that, and then I was there. Don't you call your nun and tell her what I just told her, because it's going to be me and you. The other thing about breast cancer, not having children, being overweight, because a lot of times when we gain weight in our chest, in our breast. And, we think it's wonderful, but then again, you have to worry about being able to feel the lumps and making sure that everything is right. One thing that I would ask all of you is when you go back home, take all your clothes off, stand in front of the mirror, and look to see what's there. Look to see what's there. Develop a baseline. That's called the baseline. Develop a baseline. Look to see what's there, front and back. If you have your significant other, have him or her to look to see what's there. So if mold starts to change, they can say, honey, this mold is starting to change. We need to go see a dermatologist. Or this doesn't look right. We need to go to the doctor. Because those are just simple things that we can do to increase our longevity. The other thing is when it comes to vitamins, take some vitamin D. Vitamin D, you need some calcium with the vitamin D though. Take some calcium with the vitamin D because the calcium and the vitamin D work together and they have to absorb things even more. And if you can get it in a powder form or a liquid form, that's even better. Because your body has to digest it and break it down and then it has to go. When you take it in liquid form or in powder, your body absorbs it a lot faster. This time of year, when it's cold, we don't go outside. But just go outside. Just go outside and get some fresh air. Open the door, stand in the door, get some fresh air. Because your body, you need that fresh air. You don't need to be cooped up inside all day. You need some fresh air. Because that fresh air helps your lungs. It helps your body even more. Speaking of calcium, let's talk a little bit about osteoporosis. Osteoporosis threatens 44 million Americans, of which 68% are women. How much time is that? 5 minutes. Okay, I have 5 minutes. grown man sees. That's important because as we grow older and you don't have enough calcium, your bones are going to become brittle and you will start to shrink. Take some vitamin D, don't smoke, excessive alcohol is something that you don't need to do. This time of year, depression is another problem for us. A lot of times our children are away. They don't come home for Christmas. You're by yourself. You don't have any friends. You get depressed. Depression is also associated with sunlight. When the sun is shining, you feel great. When it's cloudy, you're a little bit depressed. Because it's cloudy, it's raining, it's dreary. We stay inside. We think about stuff. Get on the phone, call up some friends. Just because it's cold and dreary outside does not mean their life stops. We are depressed because we make ourselves depressed. We think about our own issues. Stop thinking about them, pray about them, and go about your business.
That's right. Amen.
We all have issues.
That's right.
We all have problems. But I know a man that can solve any problem, that can take care of any issue, and all you gotta do is put it on the altar.
Oh, yes.
Say, Lord, this is what I got going on. It's in your hands. I'm finna go out. I'm finna go enjoy my life. Because that's what he put us here for. To enjoy our lives.
That's right.
We got to enjoy life. You can't worry about what's going on in Ferguson. You can worry about it. But worrying is not going to solve it. You pray about it.
Amen.
And you can't stay inside and be afraid. That same thing's going to happen in Ferguson. And it may happen here in North Louisiana. If we did that, that would paralyze us. And we can't be paralyzed. We shouldn't be paralyzed. The other one is autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease is, when your body turns on itself. There are some autoimmune diseases that are human genetic disorders, such as lupus, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis. There are more than 80 serious chronic illnesses that fall into this category. About 75% of autoimmune diseases occur in women. We don't know that it's an autoimmune disease because if it happens, it's, oh, well, it has happened. The doctor said this, that, or the other. We don't try to find out what's actually going on. We don't ask questions. We just take whatever the doctor says and we go with it. That's the reason I say if the doctor does not have time for you and gives you a broad, general, overall answer, go find your doctor. You are the only you that you have. One other thing before I have my seat. This is the time of year when you may want to consider, you may have to renew your driver's license. Consider, if you're already not a donor, organ donor, consider becoming one. We need organ donors because when you're dead and gone, all we're going to do is take it out, burn it. You're not going to leave from here with it. I've heard too many people say, I want to go the same way I came. You're going to go the same way you came. You're going to go the same way you came. However, it says, the Bible says within the twinkling of an eye, you go from mortality to immortality. You're not going to know, once you get there, your body's going to change anyway. The illnesses that you had, you're no longer going to have. Amen. The blindness that you had, you're no longer going to have. You're not going to have any of that. So give the gift of life leave your organs for somebody else to use. It was, one person can help 21 people. Simply by organ donation. Donate your blood. All of these things help. Pastor Bruce?
Thank you. Thank you.